Hello there, what is going on, YouTubers? So about a week ago, I made a video pretty much exclusively for my most beloved patrons, pertaining to the topic as to whether relocating to Malta would be a viable or a practical option for MGTOWs, for single dudes, for digital nomads like us. So during this filming session, I would like to try and review a bit about these documents, the the residency Malta agency forwarded me, more in depth. So let's since I do tend to forget or fail to keep those key points in mind after several days. I suppose I due to my weakened cognition, triggered or inflicted by my existing severe depression and other symptoms and shite. I don't keep records in my brain that well. So I figure it's for the best that we go over this again, but in more depth and in a bit more details. Plus some other forms, some other official paperwork I would like to show you guys, and in turn present in front of myself and do a bit of more analysis, see if it's a viable option for broken dudes to make a temporary escape / exodus out of our current shitty circumstances. So yeah, let's get to it. Oops, just need, yeah. So yeah, last time yes, I rather quickly and in full length went through walk through this document. Now let's read it again, just to double check and triple check, quadruple check if we missed anything crucial. So nomad residence permit, frequently asked questions. Eligibility: who is eligible to apply? To be eligible, one must be 18 years and over. I suppose this one is non-negotiable. Able to work remotely and independent of location using telecommunications technology, and a third country national, excluding EU, EEA, and Switzerland. Nationals from the current ineligible countries of or have close ties with Afghanistan, North Korea, Iran, Democratic Republic of Congo, Somalia, South Sudan, Syria. Oops, just need to adjust the window a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. South Sudan, Sudan, Syria, Yemen, and Venezuela are not eligible. Additionally, applications from the Russian Federation and the Republic of Belarus are currently not eligible. The list of ineligible countries may be revised from time to time by the agency at its discretion. So this one, yes, these three key criteria are quite non-negotiable since they put them at the very beginning of this document, unfortunately. So if you do happen to fall if you do happen to to hit one of these jack spots or jackpots, then unfortunately I kindly and humbly advise that you look elsewhere to relocate, rather than to Malta, or to any other, countries or regions, that welcome you instead of, banning you or hating you for who you are and for where you come from. So yeah, unfortunately, yeah. So yeah, these are the key criterias, and then we have A, employed, B, self-employed. Yeah. Furthermore, one must prove that he or she fits any. Furthermore, one must prove that he or she fits under any one of the three categories here under A, employed, with an employer registered in a foreign country and has a contract of employment. B, self-employed, conduct business activity for a company that is registered in a foreign country and of which applicant is a partner, shareholder. C, freelance, or offer freelance or consulting services to clients whose permanent establishment are in a foreign country and with whom the applicant has contract agreements. Main applicants, MAs, in all of the above employment statuses must prove that they have a guaranteed source of income as per applicable thresholds for a minimum period of 5 months cumulative from the day of application. Yeah. The agency reserves the right to request documentation showing such income. In any case, all submissions will be reviewed on a case-by-case basis on their own merits. If the prospective applicant has a contract with a foreign employer but will be offering services to Maltese subsidiary company, the prospective applicant will not be eligible to apply for the nomad residence permit. So they also add this. I suppose this one can be a borderline or a rather ambiguous definition when it comes to when or when not to approve your application for such residence permit, and they haven't been that they haven't been that crystal clear to the readers, at least in my humble opinion, in my own, as far as I can perceive and imagine, they, it all seems to me that they are offering a nomad visa, a residence permit for digital nomads instead of a visa program, since they didn't actually say explicitly say that or declare that they are currently offering such visa, by an Aussie, in terms of, under, say an Aussie context, it seems to me that they're just offering a residence permit, some sort of, contract, that lasts 1 year between, Maltese, government and its, their applicants, So it's not like, they are offering a visa program to me, but, I think I kind of, misjudged or misunderstood, in the very beginning or at the, in the very first place, but I don't know, since I've never been to, since I have never, physically been to Europe or to Great Britain myself yet, except, the very, eastern tip of it, I've been to, the European part of Turkey once, and that was, more than a decade ago, in year 2013, or, yeah, that was quite long time ago, unfortunately. So another fair disclaimer here. Yeah, do not take my thoughts, my viewpoints, my discussion, in this video and in all of my videos as professional recommendation or any advice pertaining to legal matters, particularly to matters about migration or immigration or whatsoever. Yeah. So yeah, that's the, and then you need, moreover, an applicant must have a minimum gross, gross or gross? I beg your pardon. I just need to look up the dictionary. Is it gross or gross? Gross. When we say gross, it means disgusting or, yeah, gross.
Gross.
Yeah, it's not gross. Gross. Yeah. Gross in income. Gross. Yeah. Moreover, an applicant must have a minimum gross yearly income of 33,400 euros. So apparently, I suppose, they are likely to check your bank statements within, the first, the most, the most recent, quarter of the year, plus another month. So yeah, other eligible criteria include a valid travel document such as a passport, apparently. Valid property rental purchase agreement covering the whole duration of the permit upon approval of an application. And a valid health insurance policy upon approval of application. This one is kind of negotiable, since you only need to provide this until they, you only need to provide a valid health insurance policy once they issue you an approval of application. Yeah, and it does not apply to Brits. Yeah, so if you happen to be a Brit, then you can safely disregard, this, part C. Yeah. Beg your pardon, but yeah, that's yeah. The rest, I suppose, this session. Let's go through this part really quick. application process clause, or section 2 or chapter 2. Section 2.1, how do I apply and what is the application process? The application is submitted via email on nomad.residencymalta@gov.mt, along with supporting documentation. A checklist of documentation may be accessed here. Speaking of which, we have this. Oops. The checklist. Yeah, in this session, I would like to, here it is. So that's the checklist. Checklist for nomad residence permit new application. Main applicants must consult the frequently asked questions prior to preparing and submitting the application. Yeah. So just make sure you read through this. Just make sure you read through this FAQ documents over and over till you pretty much fully understand and acknowledge and accept and agree to their terms and conditions. Yeah, to their T&Cs in this FAQ documents, and then you can proceed here. Proceed to here. Application forms. The following application forms are required to be submitted. Application form N1A, main applicant, fully completed. It has to be typed. You have to type it. It has to be typewritten. The same goes for application form N1B, main applicant, fully completed, typewritten, and signed. Application form N2, in case of dependents, say if you have children or a spouse that chiefly depend on you to survive and thrive, then yeah, you need to complete that. And then application form N4 for each individual in the application, fully completed, typewritten, and signed. And then number 5, you need to write a letter of intent, a signed and dated declaration by the main applicant, clearly stating the motivations for moving to Malta and the intention of applying for the nomad residence permit. The letter should also include a reference to the incoming transactions on the bank statements related to the income generated from employment, self-employment, freelancing. Okay, so yeah, you need to apply. You should. It's not. They are not saying that you must include a reference to incoming transactions, but you should. Yeah, so that you can kind of strengthen the validity of your statement, your intent and declarations reside in Malta for a year, possibly for another as a digital nomad. That sort of thing, yeah, blah, blah, blah. So 6, you need to have an international passport, copy of all passport pages, including blank pages. For each applicant, each individual's full passport copy must be submitted as one document in PDF format. Hang on, just let me add add something else. Disclaimer: this video does not constitute a professional recommendations nor advice pertaining to any legal matters or immigration Immigration, migration matters. Please use my videos as a tool for general references for the purposes of general references and stress relief only. Please use my videos responsibly. I'll add this responsibly. Responsibly as a tool for purposes of general references and stress relief only. Yeah, I hope I oops. How do I change color? Yeah, opacity. How to change the size here? Change it. Yeah. Yeah, to magnify it. Oops. Pardon. Yeah, so so we have that. Yeah, next we have employment status. In case of employment, MA is to submit a contract of employment clearly, showing obligations to the employer and describing work duties. Unless it is stated in the same contract, applicant is to provide a declaration form, a declaration from employer that work may be performed remotely, independent of location. In case of self-employment, MA is to provide bank statement of an account in his or her own name, clearly showing the income from the self-employment for the previous three months. Okay. For the previous 3 months as evidence of being able to satisfy the qualification criteria. Certificate of incorporation and share register must be provided. Okay, and depending on the jurisdiction, documents may be titled in a different manner, but would still hold jurisdictional equivalence. Yeah. In case of freelance, MA is to submit service contracts clearly showing obligations to the service receiver, the work duties performed and rate of payment. Okay, MAs in all of the above employment statuses must prove they have a guaranteed source of income as per applicable thresholds for a minimum period of 5 months cumulative from the day of application. The agency reserves the right to request documentation showing such income. In any case, all submissions will be reviewed on a case-by-case basis and on their own merits. So yeah, they mentioned this again, as they did in the FAQ document. So yeah, this one, it's a key point. It's a key